What's going on, everybody? This is the day after the Edgar Berlanga Steve Rose fight. I wanted to go live and talk about it because I was there live, so I can give you guys a bit of information how the atmosphere was, how the undercard played out, who was there, a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna wait until some of y'all hop on, but yeah, he showed me he needs a lot to work on, man. I don't want to say this because I'm from Brooklyn, man, and I'm rooting for anybody from Brooklyn. But at the end of the day, I don't know if he got the goods, man. I don't know if this guy has the goods. I really don't. When I was looking in the corner, when they would put him up on a big screen and they were talking to him in the corner, he looked very disinterested. Not disinterested, almost like a lack of sense of urgency. And I feel like that's how he fought. I don't know if the game plan was hey man, just make sure you get some rounds. And that's why he was fighting all slow and shit. But I feel like he needed to throw a lot more punches, bro. He needed to throw a lot more punches. And his punch variation was real bad. By the way, I just pinned the link at the top of the chat if y'all want to call in. Berlanga was trash. That's hilarious. Yeah, man. Berlanga really disappointed. This is his first time being a main event, period, ever in life. And you're gonna tell me that your first ever sold out crowd in Madison Square Garden in your hometown, you turn in that performance? That was a bad look for him, man. That was a real bad look for him. He wasn't he didn't have enough punch variation to my liking. He was very 1-2. And again, those 1-2s were very sporadic. And every now and then he would throw kind of like that Maidana overhand right, kind of like that, where he would really like swing it over. But it's like, bro, you're a professional fighter. You're not gonna jab to the body. You're not gonna throw, a left hook or sweeping right hand to the body. You're not gonna throw uppercuts. You're not gonna do no pull counters. You're not gonna jab to the body. It's almost like he, it's almost like he looked like a fighter that just never ever boxed. Like not that's a bad way of putting it. Like doesn't have a lot of experience. Like didn't have an amateur boxing experience. That's kind of like a look. It looked like this was his pro debut and he just still kind of figuring stuff out. And at this stage of his career, and I understand he hasn't fought a lot of rounds, don't get me wrong, but you have had a long amateur experience. You do train with Andre Rozier, who also trains Sergey Deverenchenko, Daniel Jacobs. So those are good sparring partners for you there. You should have picked up something from Andre or from Sergey or from Daniel. You should have picked up on a little things from these guys where you can apply to your game. Again, he looked very basic. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. And then every now and then that Maidana type overhand right. And again, I was there live. I saw it. I saw it. He just looked like he lacked that energy. He looked like he lacked that want to get that KO. And I don't know if he got that dog in him, to be honest with you. I don't know if he got that dog in him. Up against the heavy hitters, he would lose first round. LOL. Well, listen, man. He's still a prospect, man, guys. So he's not gonna get a Canelo fight. He's not gonna get a Benavidez or Caleb Plant or even a Charlo moving up. He's not gonna get none of those fights because he's still a prospect. And since he's still a prospect, people are gonna let him develop. People are gonna let him develop, and and let's see. But he has a lot to work on. Me seeing him last night live, I was there at the fight. I can tell you he has a lot to work on. And it's not necessarily like, oh, he'll get it, he'll catch up. No, like he needs to be in the gym and learn some more skills. And I'm not sure if maybe he needs to shake things up in his training camp or in his team. Maybe he needs to shake things up. That's between him and his team, what they feel. But I felt like his toolbox of weapons that he brings to the table is very limited because if he's not catching with the 1-2, and by the way, I do like his power jab. I do like a person who doesn't look at the jab as just a setup punch. They look at the jab as also a punch that can hurt you. I like that about him. So that I will give him credit for. He was throwing his hard piston-like jab, but there were few and far between. He wasn't countering. He wasn't using that same power jab to the body. I felt like he didn't go to the body enough with left hooks or right hands. He wasn't changing levels. He didn't show me any kind of uh way of how to cut off the ring. Because at the post-fight press conference, he's talking about, oh, he came out running, he came out to fight Triple G. He tried to brawl with Triple G, but with me, he tried to run. It's like, bro, that man was not running. That man was boxing. That man was not running. I don't blame what's his name? His name slips my head right now. Damn, I was just there last night and I can't think of his name. But point is, that guy was boxing, man. That Steve Rose. That guy was boxing. That guy was not running. And you just couldn't cut off the ring and you want to accuse him of running. But that guy was not running, man. That guy was not running. L Dub Boxing was good, brother. Even his post-fight interview, he sounded like he was disappointed. I mean, as he should. But the thing is, he trying to make it seem like he sounded disappointed because how his opponent came out to fight, how Steve Rose came out to box. Man, he ain't come out to box. I mean, he didn't come out to run. He came out to box. And you couldn't cut off the ring. That regular 1-2 wasn't working. I was really disappointed in his lack of a body attack. I really, really was. I was expecting him to really break down Steve Rose and possibly stop him late. That's what I thought. But I did think to myself, hey, listen, if this guy could stop him quicker than Golovkin, that right there will be a statement to me. It would be a statement. It would be a statement because, it's faster than Golovkin, and it's a common opponent with Golovkin, obviously. And it's the only guy to beat Steve Rose is Triple G. That's the only guy to beat Steve Rose. And then let's say you would have done it faster than him. That would have been very impressive. I would have came out here, gave him that Broadway stamp of one of my fighters, but I can't give you that stamp. I can't give you that stamp of me telling you that you a good fighter, that this is a fighter to watch out for. I can't justifiably say that. I can't say that he sold out the arena. I can't say he had the crowd excited before the fight started. But I don't know if his game plan was, hey, listen, I'm going to get out here and I'm going to get some rounds because I've been knocking out people in the first rounds and I need the rounds. Or is it that he just doesn't have enough weapons in his toolbox? When he brings his toolbox to the ring and you open it up, oh, shit, he has a nice power jab. Oh, shit, he has a lot of power. Oh, he has a good overhand right. Oh, he has a good straight right. Where are the left hooks in this toolbox? Where are the jabs to the body? Where are the tools to the body? That hook right hand to the body. There's none of that in this toolbox. Why is it not there? Why is the pull counter is not in his toolbox? Why is him using angles not in his toolbox? His toolbox is very, very limited, man. Very limited. And I came away very unimpressed. Listen, had he scored an impressive knockout or even an impressive win, it could have been a decision, but let's say he looked impressive. I would have made sure I bought tickets for that June 11th Puerto Rican Day Parade fight. I would have made sure of it. But now I'm not going to that fight. I'm not going to that fight. I'm going to that a better BF Smith fight. That fight I'm going to. I'm going to buy my ticket, which I believe is June 18th. I'm going to that fight. But this fight, nah, I don't give a fuck who Berlanga fights since. I'm not going, man. He stole my money. Luckily, the undercards, and when I say the undercards, I mean the whole undercard, was entertaining. I really, really liked the undercard, man. I came away really impressed with LeBron, that Puerto Rican dude, at 130. Let's talk about him for a quick second, man. Y'all want to talk about, I don't know if he's a contender or not, but if he's not, y'all want to talk about who's in line for Prospect of the Year? And I doubt he's in line for Prospect of the Year, to be honest with you, because he does have a lot of fights. But that dude LeBron is nice. He fought some guy that had 25 wins, so I don't want to hear he fought a bum. That's why he looked that good. That right hook was nasty. Henry LeBron, That was his name. Yo, I came away really impressed with this kid. He fights at 130, already at 15-0. I thought the stoppage was way early, to be honest with you. That stoppage was way early. Hold on. Let me. But, he's not the ref. He was beating the shit out of that guy. So that guy was not going to win that fight anyways. Hold on one second. I'm going to screen share you who this guy is. Because this guy, Henry LeBron, I think I might, off that one fight, I think I might have to give him that Broadway stamp. Maybe not yet. I need to see him one more time. But I really like what I saw. He fighting at 130. He's 130 pounds. That same division as Hector Luis Garcia, Chris Colbert, Shakur Stevenson. He's 5'6". He's a southpaw, so he's a pretty short guy. But I like him. He's only 24 years old. I like he has dog in him. At one point, he was pushing his opponent. I like seeing shit like that. Little shit like that I catch on to. When you pushing your opponent and you getting in his face and you styling on him, I like him, man. He showed great defense. To me, Henry LeBron, what I came away really impressed with Henry LeBron was that right hook and his ability to move and use his defense. He was very good on his feet. He was a very careful tactician. Very careful tactician. I really want us to. I put it like this. I can't wait to see him in his next fight. If he fights on Berlanga's undercard next, which I'm assuming he will on the day of the eve of the Puerto Rican Day Parade, depending who he's fighting, I may go. I came away really impressed with Henry LeBron. Really impressed. And I think that he has a future. I think Puerto Rico got one. You know how Puerto Rico, they always looking for the next big thing? Berlanga, I don't know. It don't look good. I'm not writing him off, but it don't look good as far as him being the next big thing. Let's talk about Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas looked good, but he didn't wow the crowd. He just looked good. He looked okay. Like, I do question his power now. He was landing some hard right hands in that. When he had him in that corner, he was landing some shots. Couldn't drop the guy. Now, it could be that guy was tough. He fought. But shit, it could be that he's not that dude, man. I don't know. He still got time. To develop, though. Now, maybe he hasn't grown into his man strength. I do feel like at times he wasn't sitting down on his punches all the way. But again, he's still young. He has so much time on his lap. Time on his lap. Burrell Jr. would send Berlanga to the shadow realm. Yeah, I'll be funny in this chat, man. I think Steve Rose may have won that fight. Angel Perez. Shout out to, I haven't seen you in a while, Angel Perez. What's up with you? I'm not gonna argue with you. I didn't score the fight, but I remember when the decision was being announced. I remember being like, I don't know who won. You know what I'm saying? I was there live. The scorecards weren't bad though. Scorecards were close. Them first round knockouts disappeared when he stepped up in competition. I mean, the thing is, the first time he went to decision, I believe he dropped the guy 5 times or 4 times. So, that was impressive. Although he went to decision, that was impressive. Then the fight before this one, he fought Caceres, where he swole the dude's eye, beat him up. But the guy was a tough guy, tricky guy, and dropped Berlanga and everything. So, I think that fight was more just him, the other guy being really, really tough. And then this fight, I don't know what happened. He just wasn't throwing punches, man. I really don't like didn't like his performance. His punch variation was real bad. Yeah, bro. He became too predictable to Steve Rose. Yeah, man. It was the power jab. And then with the 1-2. That's pretty much what he was going to. Did he throw a uppercut every now and then? Yes. Did he throw a left hook every now and then? Yes. But I want to say 90% of his punches was jab, right hand, or that overhand right, that like Maidana type overhand right. I really didn't like his performance. I really didn't. I didn't. I feel like he needs a lot of work. He needs he needs a whole rewiring of his toolbox, man. His toolbox is weak. Is weak, man. You can't just rely on power and a power jab and a straight right hand. You cannot. You cannot. Not when you get to the big boys. Not when you're fighting Canelo, David Morrell, David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, Jamal Charlo if he moves up, Andred if he moves up. You know what I'm saying? Or if eventually Berlanga moves up, Betrobiev and Joe Smith. Though you cannot just have those 2-3 things in your toolbox. You will get fucked up bad, man. You will get fucked up bad. And I hope not, because he's from Brooklyn and I want him to be good. But for the record, I want him to be good. And he's still a prospect. I'm not going to completely write him off, but I'm definitely nervous about it. That's boxing. I'm glad things like this happen. Boxing, hard guys, it's easy talking about I will pay some you guys to get in the ring. Both hype jobs got exposed last night, but that's boxing. I don't know how much is it, how tough the competition was, or how limited Berlanga was. And I know you brought up the Cobbs fight. I actually have not seen the Cobbs fight, the Blair Cobbs fight, and y'all know I'm a fan of Blair Cobbs, but I was a fan of his personality, not necessarily his skills. But so I really can't comment too much on that fight. I did see he got stopped, but as far as the Berlanga fight, yeah, Steve Rose is not a bum. Obviously, he can move, he can box, but he that's somebody who Berlanga should have got out of there, though. If you this guy people promoting you as, you this, big matatang, that got power and all you need to land is one, you should get him out of there. But you're not going to get him out of there with that limited of skills, that limited of 1-2, and then an overhand. Like, you're not going to get an experienced fighter. You're not going to get that fight out of there. You're just not. Sorry, you're just not. Steve Nelson batters Berlanga. Damn, Berlanga. He really needs to show out in his next fight. He really needs to show out. Nah, Angel, I haven't seen it. Errol Spence Instagram story. That boy said, "Put his ass in the dirt." Yeah, I saw that. Because Errol Spence and Blair Cobbs, they had a whole little back and forth, and now that he lost, Spence is trolling. Xander smoked that dude. I thought he looked great. Look, I'm not saying he didn't look good. I don't think, put it like this, I don't think he looked great. I'm not saying he looked bad, but he didn't look great. I thought I questioned his power a little bit, because there was one point where he was landing I think he landed with like a fucking 19 combo. When he had him in that corner, he landed a bunch of right hands, a bunch of left hooks. And it just seemed like at no point could he drop him. No point could he really, really hurt him. Or at no point did he stop him. I felt like Xander should have stopped the dude like that. He really should have. Especially if you're landing that clean. When you landing clean punches, that's what shows me if you're a puncher or not. And he was landing some clean shots. He really couldn't get the guy out of there. But again, it just kind of looked like he wasn't completely sitting down on his punches. And he's 19 years old. That guy got fucking mad time to work on all those things. And it also could be he's 19. He hasn't developed his man strength. So, yeah, at 19, he's landing these clean shots and people standing up to it. But when he's 25, maybe then he's going to be blasting dudes out. I don't want to make it seem like I'm out here criticizing Xander Zayas. Absolutely not. If that's how it came across as what I was doing, absolutely not. Xander Zayas has talent. I just didn't, not that I didn't like his performance. I felt like he didn't show me enough power in that performance for how many clean punches he landed. You know what I'm saying? Because even if he wouldn't have gotten the stoppage and he dropped him 2-3 times or hurt him 2-3 times, I don't feel like he hurt him that bad at any moment. I felt like at times he hurt him, but not like where it's like, whoa, this guy's really, really hurt. Xander only 19. He has gotten his man. It's literally what I just said. He hasn't gotten his man strength yet, so he's gonna be having some decisions before he turns 24. Before he turns about 24, 25. Yo, that's almost like, it's crazy how in sync we were right there, because that's exactly what I said. That dude has never been down in his whole career. He tough. Oh, I ain't know that. I ain't know that he's never been down in his whole career. The guy he fought. But again, if you landing clean shots like that on somebody, I'm a bit disappointed you didn't drop him. I'm a bit disappointed you ain't drop him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the ref looked like he was gonna stop the fight like twice. Yes, but I felt like if we would have stopped it earlier, it would have been all those times that he was considering stopping it. Had he stopped it, the crowd would have been disappointed. Because at no point he fell. At no point was he really, really hurt. The referee was going to stop it because Berlanga. Zayas was landing a lot of clean shots and he wasn't responding. And then eventually he started responding with his own punches. But I felt like, again, he had a little bit to work on. I felt like he and by a little bit to work on, I feel like he needs to stop being so left hand dependent. I feel like a lot of times he was relying on that jab and then that left hook a lot and not letting it go, not letting that right hand go. There was one point he landed a good left uppercut, and had he just slid to his left, he would have landed a clean right uppercut. And then he just stood in the middle and just kept jabbing with his left hand. So I do think he needs to use his right hand more. And I do think he needs to sit down on his punches more, because that's when you knock motherfuckers out. When you sitting down and you just putting all your weight in. I don't feel like he was doing that. So again, developing into his man strength and sitting down in his punches a little bit more. And I think Xander Zayas could go to the next level. I think he could go to the next level. Xander is the future of Puerto Rico. I disagree. I think Henry LeBron is the future of Puerto Rico. Henry LeBron, that was on that undercard, that southpaw 130 pounder. And I have dreams. I have dreams of seeing a Puerto Rico versus Dominican fighter, a Puerto Rican versus a Dominican fighter in Madison Square Garden. And to think Henry LeBron, who I said is the real deal, I feel like he's the future of Puerto Rican boxing. Henry LeBron against Hector Luis Garcia, let's say they both have a belt at 130. Man, I don't think, I don't understand. Like, those are like, for the people who don't know a lot of Dominicans or don't know a lot of Puerto Ricans, we're like rivals. We're friends. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm talking about me as a grown man. We're like friends. I'm cool with Puerto Ricans. I'm not talking bad about nothing about Puerto Ricans. But there's a big baseball rivalry with us. So if you could somehow bring that into boxing, I don't think y'all understand how big a fight against a Dominican versus a Puerto Rican would be in boxing. If it's promoted right. And again, I'm the Dominican voice of boxing, bro. I'm the Dominican voice of boxing. I would promote that shit myself. I would love to see that fight. But Henry LeBron, that's a future world champion. Book it. I want to see, is he ranked with any of the sanctioning bodies? I don't think so, because he only has, now 15 fights, but I want to check if he's ranked. Because Henry LeBron, man, I don't know if y'all saw that undercard. Henry LeBron, he really, really impressed me. He fought a great fight. But by the way, this card, that shit ended. I got home like at 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, Top Rank be bugging. Man. Let me see if Henry LeBron is ranked. Let me quickly check the WBO, because they love their Puerto Ricans and they love Top Rank. Let me see. All right, now he's not ranked in the WBO, so he's definitely gonna be ranked. Not gonna be ranked in anything else. Let me see. Nah, he's not ranked. Nope, not ranked in anything. Yeah, so I don't. If he's considered a prospect, which I don't know, he's my prospect of the year so far. If he's considered a prospect, I don't. It's hard to tell. Like, guy has 15 fights. Is he a fucking prospect? I don't know. Is he or is he not? If he is, that is my prospect of the year. And I'm not even, as of right now, he's my prospect of the year, and I can't even think of a close second. Jose Valenzuela, aka Rayo Valenzuela, has a chance to impress me. He has a chance to get in that from me. There's a few guys out there, but I really, 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 really like to see what I saw from Henry LeBron. See, they said never been down in amateurs or pro. His chin is diamond plated. I mean, the amateurs sometimes motherfuckers be lying. No, I've never been dropped in the amateurs just because I can't check or find out. So I don't know. I mean, if his chin is that good, and that's why he didn't get dropped, then I guess I'm being harder on Xander. But again, you land that many clean shots for you not to drop somebody. And again, he was not sitting down on his punch, all those punches, and he was being left hand happy. I don't know if he hurt his right hand, but I don't feel like he was really sitting down on that on his punches, including his left hand. I don't feel like he was fully sitting down on it. Hold on, we got a first call of the show. Chris Matthews, what's going on, my brother? How you doing?
How you doing, buddy? Good, good. Can't complain. Hey, I was watching the Berlanga Rose fight yesterday.
Yes.
Berlanga needs to get out of New York, man. He needs some more sparring, and he needs to, change up his style because he's a good fighter. I'm not going to take anything from him. He can fight. He can do what he needs to do in there. But I think to get up to the higher level, he needs to have know how to box. He needs to throw a double jab, vary up the jab because I saw him just stalk Steve Rose, just and do nothing, just stand in front of him. There was times that he was stepping to his left and right to cut off the ring, but he didn't do anything that showed me that he was elite.
No, I'm not gonna disagree with you. Uh I did see his hand speed. I did see his power jab. So I did pick up on little things that he does well. I'm not gonna dismiss what you said as far as him leaving New York. Uh I see
He's a
him,
good
and
fighter,
I
man.
know
I
he'll
like
never
him.
do it. Hold on. I know he'll never do it, but I can see him training with uh Javon Sugar Hill from the Kronk Gym, and that style of with his skill set is probably what he needs. He needs to be aggressive. It's okay to be an aggressive, come forward fighter. Now, I do think he's aware of his chin problems, which he's been dropped in his last fight, dropped in sparring, dropped in the amateur. So I think maybe he's having some of that Anthony Joshua syndrome where he kind of knows he can't really take a punch. But
I can't
uh,
say that about Anthony Joshua. The first time that he got knocked down with a temple shot. So at the end of the day, that's not chin. Anyone get hit with a temple shot by Andy Ruiz, hey, it's gonna happen like that. And I
no,
think
no,
that's
I understand
unfair.
what you're saying, but I was more referencing as to how tentative Berlanga was fighting. I'm not sure if it's because he doesn't trust his chin or if he was really trying to be patient and measure out his shots.
That's true, but Steve Rose is a wily old veteran, man. Like Steve Rose, I watched him since Showbox. He beat Demond Nicholson. He's always had some real good fights on Showbox. He's always been a quality operator. Just because Golovkin starched him, a former silver medalist and a long-time middleweight champion, doesn't mean that he wasn't, of any sort of competence.
No,
That's why
I
people.
never said that. I never said he was nobody. What I said is that the skills Berlanga showed up with was not enough, man. It wasn't. It wasn't. He wasn't throwing jabs to the body. He wasn't throwing left. He wasn't really going to the body at all. He wasn't changing levels. He didn't show me any angles. He was basically just a jab or a power jab, a right hand, or straight right, or overhand right. That's it. That's all basically he showed me that whole fight. What he showed me is that
He didn't
he
put
needs
no
to get
combinations
more
together at
skills.
all.
He needs to get more skills.
He didn't put no combinations at all. He didn't go to the body at all. And yeah, that is true. And I wasn't saying that specifically to you, Joel, at all. I was just saying in general. A lot of people, shitted on Rose because he wasn't a good opponent, this, that, the third. And it just goes to show you that us real hardcore boxing fans, we do our due diligence. We actually care about the sport. So we're gonna really look up the fighters that people are so, dismissive of. And it's quite disconcerting to see that people keep saying these certain things about certain fighters that they don't have any knowledge of. It's just like I understand casual friends bring the money in because boxing irrespective of what people think it is, irrespective of the skill level or the savagery, it's still gladiatorial combat, and people want to see knockouts. But it's just like seeing stuff like that is just it's annoying. And to your Javon Sugar Hill point, yeah,
Mhm.
it would do good, but at the end of the day, that Kronk style, you got to be immersed in it, man, because you have to understand this. Jermaine Taylor went to the late great Manny Stewart, right? And he was sparring in the Kronk, and he was doing his thing there, but like he was getting beat up in sparring too, because that level of sparring, that level of intensity is violent. It's very violent in the Detroit gym. So
But
at the
that's
end
the
of the
thing.
day,
We need to figure out if Berlanga's that dude, man. And if he going to a gym with some killers and gorillas is what needs to be done, then that's what needs to be done. Like he
bro,
we he you know he already has what that was his 19th fight. I think it's time to let the training wheels off. He's already had two decisions. One's an 8-round decision. Two were 10-round decisions. If he needs to get his ass kicked in the gym for him to perform better on fight night, then shit, that's what they need to do. That's what they need to do.
that's a fact. But I also got to look at it like this in terms of the athlete. Yeah, so I'm just gonna bring in some different variables. The food's not the same, so this athlete may not be able to take the same amount of punishment that them old dudes had. And mentality, bro. Sometimes taking a beating and sparring and stuff like that. I understand this is a mental sport, and hey, you get hit, and if you can't take the heat in a controlled environment, this may not be the sport for you. But certain athletes, they don't react well to it. So at the end of the day, I don't know. But like, yeah, you're right. You're right in that respect. We gotta see if Berlanger has the minerals, the irons and the niacins, like OC said on Times Up. If Berlanger's that guy, you're right.
Yeah, man.
You saw
But all
let's
right,
just
man. Thank you so much for the call. To answer to respond to your point, as far as him going to the gym, I do think that him being on him being at the Sugar Hill gym would be good at the Kronk gym. Not only are the Kronk fighters offensive, and I feel like they're the best at teaching tools how to be offensive, how to use your hands, how to throw a variation of punches. What I like about them is they're also defensively responsible. Like if you look at the Kronk Gym's history, whether it be Vladimir Klitschko, Lennox Lewis, Thomas Hearns, uh, Mike McCallum, who else for that Kronk? There's been a few guys that I can't name off the top of my head. None of them were defensively irresponsible. They fought good fights. You understand what I'm saying? Uh, and I feel like if again Tyson Fury too, I don't feel like none of the Kronk fighters are defensively irresponsible. They are more offensive, and when you get offensive, of course you're gonna get touched up a little bit more. But there's ways to fight offensive without getting hit. You understand what I'm saying? Especially with the hand speed Berlanga has. I feel like if somebody was to uh explain to him how to use his hand speed, explain to him how to hit and not get hit, how to slip punches, and look, like, oh yeah, look, when you that pull counter, when you go like that, then you can throw that overhand right over the jab if you do the pull counter. All right, when you see him, when you got him on the corner, because there was a couple times he had rolls in the corner, he just didn't take advantage. All right, he has him on the corner and he's kind of crouching down. Of course, you don't want to go to his head because he may either move his head to the right and move his head to the left, and you don't not know where he's going. But if you start digging that body, you could start breaking him down and then maybe start headhunting in the later rounds because he's going to be so broken down and too worried about his body. There's ways to use your power. There's ways to use your hand speed. But if you don't have the skills to apply it, you're going to look bad like Edgar Berlanga did. And I feel like that Kronk gym would be good for him. That Kronk gym will help him refine his skills. That honestly, that's what I saw. Frank Martin versus Javier Fortuna. I have heard those rumors. I have to text. I have to text one of my sources who he actually knows Javier Fortuna's manager. Ironically, I'm gonna text him and I'm gonna see what he tells me. But I don't want to give you guys confirmation. But I have heard those rumors. Michael Blunt, Frank Martin versus Javier Fortuna. Y'all know damn well who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for my Dominican brother Javier Fortuna. I do think this is a very quick stepper for Frank Martin. Javier Fortuna can crack. Say whatever you want. He's wild. Yeah, he's a southpaw. Whatever it is you want to say. Oh, he was never that good. Javier Fortuna could fucking crack. And I don't know if Frank Martin is is ready for that smoke just yet. Oh, hell yeah. Henry LeBron is way better than Gabriel Frost. Listen, Henry LeBron got that Broadway Joel stamp on him. Yeah, he got that. Doom, doom. I wish I had like something where I could just stamp and it just says Broadway. Doom, doom. Henry LeBron is nice. If I was Puerto Rican, that's who I put all my chips on. If I had all my chips right here, right? I'm at the gambling table. All my chips. I either have to put it all on Berlanga, all on Zayas, all on Henry LeBron, all on Subriel Matias. By the way, I met Subriel Matias at the Garden. If I had all my chips, this is what I'm doing. Where's my man Henry LeBron? Now I'm going. If I was Puerto Rican, that's my guy. That guy is nice. His right hook, calm down, guys, but it reminded me of Juanma Lopez. And you're gonna tell me he has good footwork and good defense with a right hook like Juanma? Not the power Juanma had. It's not get crazy now. He ain't got the power Juanma had. But I came away very impressed with Henry LeBron. Again, he got that Broadway Joel stamp. If he's a prospect, so far he's my prospect of the year. I got to find out what the qualifications for prospect of the year is. But man, I really, really like Henry LeBron. Again, if I was Puerto Rican, I would be very excited about that guy. Bro, how did the West Coast card with Rocha and Cobbs and before the MSG New York card? I don't know. I was at the MSG New York card, so I ain't seen none of that. But that is weird. You would think, yo, bro, the fucking fight, the fights ended so late. Again, I got home at 2:30 in the morning. I was gonna go. My idea, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go live after the fight, right? I'm like, cool. I'll probably have stories about who I met. I met Nico Ali Walsh. For whoever wanted to hear that. Mike Towers came walking in with Edgar Berlanga. I literally put video. He was literally right next to me. So I had a good experience, but damn, yo, I got home at 2:30 in the morning and I was like, fuck that. I'm going to bed, man. So I was like, I'll go live tomorrow, which I'm live today. So Jared Anderson about to batter Christian Hammer in a more entertaining way and look better than Frank Sanchez Boreanaz. Absolutely. I'm high on Jared Anderson. By the way, I thought I saw Jared Anderson getting interviewed by Joe Tessitore, but I was so far from where the interview was being conducted. I wasn't sure if it was him, but it was a big heavyweight. Was that him? I don't know, because I saw him from a distance, but I don't know if it was Jared Anderson. Yo, bro, what do you think of Xander Zayas versus Sebastian Fundora later down the line? Man, like that it's hard for me to say because Xander Zayas, he still hasn't faced anybody who's like, oh shit, this guy's a tough guy. Like Fundora fought Sergio Garcia, who was undefeated, and honestly, I thought beat Fundora. So he's fought a lot tougher competition. So it's hard for me to compare, especially when I think Xander has 2-3 things he needs to work on. He needs to work on sitting down on his punches a little bit more. He needs to work on using his right hand a little bit more and using angles. I feel like he doesn't know how quick his hand speed is. He has really, really quick hands. He needs to boom, 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 dart in and out places, man. And but again, he's young. He's 19, 20, whatever old he is. He has plenty of time to work on it. And yeah, I'm not worried about Xander's development. I just do see things he needs to work on. As opposed to Fundora, he's already more of a finished product. These fighters going keep fighting the same way. Most of you never went home with a concussion. Steve Rose was not trying to go home with a concussion. He fought different. You have to adjust. I don't have a problem with the way Steve Rose fight. Steve Rose fought. I mean, he fought a very technical fight. He boxed. He wasn't running like after the fight. Berlanga tried to make it seem like he was running. He wasn't running. He was boxing. You just ain't like that. You couldn't close the distance. You couldn't cut off the ring. That's what you was mad at. Yeah. People are sleeping on the boxing academy James Walter Buddy McGirt has. He trains fighters well. What academy does he have? He has an academy? I'm not. I never heard of it. I know he trains fighters, and he's been training fighters for over 20 years. But and he was a good fighter himself too. A lot of people don't know he was a world champion. Yeah, Buddy McGirt was good, but yeah, I don't know what academy he has. So I guess I am sleeping on it because I never heard of it. Uh, Hold on. These fighters not going to keep fighting the same way. You have to adjust. You can't complain about how Steve Rose fight or he changed. Who's complaining about how Steve Rose fought? I don't know. I don't know who's complaining about how Steve Rose fought. I have he boxed. He was boxing a beautiful fight. He almost pulled it off. Frank Martin finished show them southpaw skills. Man down. That's that Texas love. Now I ain't counting out Javier Fortuna. That motherfucker's tough as fuck. I thought he would have gave Ryan some problems. If Luke dropped Ryan, then Fortuna had a chance. Absolutely. Absolutely. That boy Javier Fortuna, man, he's a wild dude at times. And I wish he was a little bit more patient with his power, but at the same, like, I feel like he's either wild, or super patient. Like super patient when he's adjusting. If he could somehow find somewhere a middle ground there, I feel like he can be a lot better than he is right now. But he be stopping, he be knocking dudes out cold, man. You know, it's funny. My father had a prospect, a Dominican prospect, and Javier Fortuna knocked the shit out of him. So I'm very aware of Javier Fortuna's power. Javier Fortuna can crack, man. Javier Fortuna can crack. Bruce Carrington has a lot of potential. My man, Shoo Carrington. That was the fight of the night. Yo, let me tell you about that. So I'm walking into the garden. I'm walking in and they announcing from Brownsville, Brooklyn, Bruce Shoo Carrington. I'm like, perfect fucking time. And I'm walking in. I get to my seat. I'm like, let's go, Brooklyn, Brooklyn. I'm like, all right, I'm cheering for my guy, my Brooklyn brother. But this other dude is coming tough. This dude, Andujar, fighting tough. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, damn, this dude came to fight. My brother elbows me. He goes, yo, you know that dude's Dominican, right? I look, Andujar's Dominican. They had the flag up. I was like, oh, hell no, I'm rooting for my guy. I'm like, vamos, coño. Eso no comió plátano. I'm like, I'm cheering. And Andujar came to fight. That was the fight of the night. Andujar came to fight. That was a brawl. Bruce Carrington was going to war. I do like that he's at a lower weight class. So if he's an offensive fighter, there's gonna be plenty of those Mexicans fighting out there. Those Mauricio Lara types, those fucking Emmanuel Navarrete type fighters, Salido type fighters. They're all gonna be down there. So if Carrington's gonna be an offensive fighter, I do like that he's at a lower weight class. But one thing I came away, by the way, let me finish the story. So I'm rooting for my Dominican brother, and he's landing good shots. He won a couple rounds, and there was one point he had him against the ropes, and I was standing right there where the ropes were. And Duhar was ripping body shots on Carrington. Like you hear them shit. Yeah. Da, 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 da. I'm like, oh my God. So, and Duhar didn't come just for a paycheck. And Duhar came for a fucking good fight. And Carrington, he left that night sore. He left that night knowing he was in a fight. So he got touched up really good. He was hurt. He was hurt a few times. And when I mean hurt, not like hurt like wobbly, but I'm sure those body shots hurt because it was landing and they were landing hard. But then eventually Shoo just turned it up. I felt like he fed off the energy of the crowd, turned it up and got a sensational 2-piece knockout. He went boom, boom. And I was at the fight, man. That dude was out cold for like a minute, like a full minute. It was pretty scary. I wanted to see the replay. I'm like, show the replay. My brother's like, yo, the guy's still out. I'm like, look in the ring. The guy's still laid out flat. You know, they got lights in his eyes and all that. Thank God nothing happened. He's okay. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I was excited what I saw. I was entertained. I'm excited what Bruce Carrington could bring to the New York scene. As of right now, Teofimo lost. Edgar Berlanga don't look that good. Didn't look that good in his last fight. So I do like that we have up and coming young New Yorkers as well. I do think Bruce Carrington can't be having wars like that though. He needs to can't be having wars like that when you're 3-0. Now, if he was, you know, 17-0 and the other guy was 17-2, where you fighting, okay, now you're on the big stage. You cannot be having wars like that at a young age. At a young age like that, you cannot be going to war with fighters. Berlanga has the power and ability, but the cerebral part of the fight game, he might need to work on that. He was showing too much frustration in the ring, and Steve Rose picked up on it. I don't know if it's so much his mental or cerebral part of the game, as opposed to it is just that he just needs to learn a little bit more skills. He needs to learn how to roll with punches and come back with an uppercut. He needs to learn how to do a pull counter. He needs to learn how to dig deep to the body, boom, 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 when you got somebody in the corner. He needs to learn how to change levels and jab to the body. He needs to learn those things. And those are things you learn in the amateurs. Like if you're a top amateur, which Berlanga was, those are things you learn there. You don't learn that in the pros at this stage of your career. And I don't know if that comes from him being used to knocking everybody out or him thinking that Steve Rose is going to go in there and fight offensively. But I didn't like that from Edgar Berlanga. I felt like he showed very limited skills. I think that's where his problem lies. His problem lies limited skills. Can that be fixed? Can that be developed? Yes. Can that be with Andre Rozier? I don't know if you've been with him since your pro debut and you're looking like this in your 19th fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. I do think he needs work on his skills, man. He needs work on his tool. I keep saying that because this is my term of boxing jargon. He needs more tools in his toolbox. Can't just go 1-2 overhand right. You can't just have three moves. You can't just have three moves. What do you think of Errol Spence making comments on Lil B-Hop and Blair Cobbs because they're honest on Errol Spence not fighting? I guess you meant Terrence Crawford, him getting mad about it. Boxers in general don't like when you talk about them. Like if a fighter doesn't make weight and you like, damn, that dude's a lazy fucking bumps, easy on the cheeseburgers. And I'm not saying that's what happened here, but if you was to do that, the boxer who you did that to is gonna remember that. And then when you have a loss, when you have a controversial decision, they're gonna come back and tweet at you. That's just how boxers are in general. Boxers, they like to they're petty. You seen Errol Spence did it with Colbert and all that. Yeah, man. Boxers have a long memory. KO Boxing breaking news. You could click the link at the top of the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, just click the link and I can have you on my show. But yeah, man. Again, that it was a good card overall. The best fight of the night when I was there was Bruce Shushu Carrington versus Andujar. Let me get his first name because that guy deserves us to know his first name, man. That dude, he's not one of those journeymen that just go, yeah, I just want to, come and get my paycheck. He wasn't one of those. Yeldy Andujar. Shout out to Yeldy. Let me screen share. Just because he came as a journeyman. He got knocked out. And maybe he became a meme. Maybe he went viral. But guess what? Yeldy Andujar, this man right here, who's been knocked out 3 times, 5-5 with 1 draw, been knocked out of those 5 losses, 3 by knockout. That man came to fight. That man gave the fans their money's worth. And I don't know what the scorecards were. Let me check if I can find the scorecards. I don't know what the scorecards were, but they were close. They like, I don't know who was winning. I don't know who was winning. To be fair, I wasn't keeping score. So if it was more lopsided than I remember. Let me see. Oh, the fans had it all for Bruce Carrington. All 4 rounds. All right. I guess. I don't know. I feel like there were 1 or 2 rounds where where my man Yodi Andujar was putting in that work. KO Boxing breaking news, man. What's up? You asking for the link? I told you, link is at the top of the chat. Call in, brother. But getting back to Yodi Andujar, man, that was the fight of the night. Yodi Andujar versus Bruce Shushu Carrington for Brooklyn, New York. Brownsville, Brooklyn. By the way, Brownsville, Brooklyn. Look at all the fighters they produce. Mike Tyson, Zab Judah, Daniel Jacobs, Riddick Bowe. He's like from East New York, but he did live in Brownsville for a while, so him. And by the way, I'm from East New York. Eddie Staffa Muhammad. These are all from one neighborhood in Brownsville. So if Shushu Carrington is coming from that kind of lineage, you know the kid has potential. And I just do think he needs to leave that Brooklyn style, like let's go to war style. Leave that shit at home, man. Shannon Briggs was also from Brownsville, Brooklyn. Shannon Briggs was also from Brownsville, Brooklyn. But yeah, getting back to Shushu Carrington. You cannot be having brawls like that at this stage of your career. You cannot. That is not good for your health. It's okay to do it. I mean, it's never okay, but I understand when you're doing it at a championship fight. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, you should not be having these kind of wars, especially with a guy who came into the ring at 5-4-1. You should be able to handle those guys easy. Yeah, Curtis Stevens was also from Brownsville, Brooklyn. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. That's why us Brooklyn dudes, we talk the way we talk. Because, man, we've been through some hard hitters, man. If you from Brooklyn and you've been in a street fight, you face some hard hitters. See, Paulie, I know y'all gonna bring up Paulie from Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. He ain't from Brownsville, Brooklyn. If you fought somebody from Brownsville, Brooklyn before, you've been hit hard, man. Trust me. Those some hard hitters down there. I don't know what's in the water. Shannon Briggs has the most first-round knockouts in heavyweight history. And then we know Mike Tyson for knocking dudes out in the first round. You're going to question Daniel Jacobs' power? Who else power are you going to question? Curtis Stevens was a puncher. Zab Judah was a puncher. A lot of punches come out of Brownsville. That's a really talented area here in New York where we produce a lot of boxers. But yeah, man, any questions y'all want to ask, just ask in the chat or again, call in. I'm not going to be on too much longer. So if you guys really want to, you guys want to be a part of the conversation, feel free to call in. We can have a conversation. Let me see what's popping up on Boxing Scene. But man, Berlanga, that was a bad time to put in a bad performance. That was the worst time you could have put in that performance. He fought his first main event, sold out Madison Square Garden Hulu Theater. To be fair, it's not the big room. Sold that out. And they had I should have took a picture. They had the sign. It said Edgar Berlanga versus Steve Rose. Sold out. I remember feeling like a certain way walking in, like it's sold out, and I got a fucking ticket, man. I'm going to be one of the few people to fucking say, yo, I was here to see this fight. And I wish I wasn't one of the people that was there to see that fight. That fight sucked, man. I'm assuming you meant he never got hit hard. Yeah, I mean, the dude was boxing. He got hit hard with a couple jabs. But you're right. He never really got clipped like a nice strong overhand right or a nice strong left hook or 1-2 that was really heavy. He ain't really got because Rose was boxing. Rose wanted Berlanga to get a little bit more aggressive and more careless, but Berlanga was being very, very patient, cruised to a unanimous decision, as opposed to he could have went dig to that body. Just keep breaking him down. He's going to eventually stop moving. You keep fucking breaking that body down. He's going to be tired. All that running around, that wears you out. And if you're getting hit to the body consistently, and then you can trick somebody. Also, there's a trick for my young fighters who are watching this. And I know Michael Blunt, he's an amateur boxer, so pay attention to this one. A lot of times when you dig in that body, and let's say you've had success at that body work. right? You can look at his body, and when you look at his body, you go and swing an overhand right to his head. His attention is going to be where your attention has been for the last 2 minutes of this round. Let's say for the first 2 minutes, I'm just digging that body, and of course, I'm mixing it up with a couple jabs, a couple quick 1-2s to the head. If most of my attack has been to that body, and then I look and I just swing and I hit your head, your attention is going to be where my eyes are. Your attention is going to be where my attention has been for the last 2 minutes of the round. And if I can clip you by tricking you where my eyes are going to be, boom. That's how Canelo knocked out Khan. Khan was going to the body, and then eventually used his eyes to look at the body and just swung an overhand right and knocked him out cold. All right, guys, we got another caller calling in. KO Boxing breaking news. How you doing, my brother? Could you mute the?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Well, I was trying to hear you too.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Hey, Joel, what's up, Broadway, Joel? Hang on 1 second.
Where you from, by the way? You okay? You okay over there?
1 second.
All right. While you do that, I'm gonna read this comment. What do you think about Regis Progress and Jose Cepeda performance? If they fight next for the vacant WBC, who do you have? I think that's a good fight, and I think I favor Cepeda, to be honest with you. But how you doing, KO Boxing breaking news? How you doing, my brother?
Good. I did get to see what happened in New York last night, guys.
I don't know, man. It wasn't good. Well, at least the main event wasn't good. I won't say it wasn't good. The main event wasn't good. I don't understand why he came out like that. I feel like he needs to work on a lot of his skills. He became very popular very fast, and I feel like his skills, his toolbox is not living up to the hype.
Yeah, I seen last night the fight. My opinion, with Berlanga, if that's what we like to talk about. I was really shocked about his performance myself too. My opinion, I'm a former amateur boxer and amateur USA boxing coach.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a judge, I wouldn't even give the fight to him. I mean, my opinion, because I didn't think he even won the fight. I mean, if I
He got robbed, you thought Rolls got robbed?
I think so. I mean, because he wasn't really throwing a lot of punches. Really, he was, in my opinion, from what I seen, is like he was getting outworked. Far as yeah, he had some good, heavy shots, but I think that's what he was like. They said that he was relying on it. He was just waiting for those real heavy shots to try to knock him out. And like you said, he needs to go back and work on just basic boxing skills, and just go back to the amateur style. That would help him out more than how he fought last night. So.
Okay. I mean, I agree. He does need to have things to work on. I knew you. You told me you had a Hector Camacho. Since we on Puerto Rican New Yorkers that are Puerto Ricans, since we on that topic.
Yep.
What exactly you did? Like a memorial for Hector Camacho? What exactly was it that you did?
I had a special since they about a week and a half ago now, on Wednesday, about 2 weeks ago, they arrested the 5 men supposedly was involved in his murder, and it was all over the news. And so what I did, I'm 56 years of age, and boxing, when I was young during that time period, and he was, like a mentor, not a mentor, but like a idol at that time of mine, and a lot of other young boxers our age. So I did like a tribute memorial type of show in remembrance of Hector Camacho. As we call it, the Final Justice show. And I had a gentleman on that actually fought Hector Camacho toward the end of his career. I think he fought him in 1991 or 93. His name is Tough Tony Menifee, and he's from Nebraska, and that's where I'm from. I'm here in Omaha, Nebraska. I even sparred when I was younger, Terrence Crawford, when he was 15 years old, but I was a little bit older. I was 37. And so I'm kind of from
little guys, man. What's up with you? Or you got beat up?
Well, no, I trying to come back with my boxing career myself. But no, I was just letting you know that I'm here in Omaha, and I know all the guys from Bud Crawford's team, Brian Bomac McIntyre, and all those guys too. So
Okay,
But
that would be great if I could get Bomac on that. That would be or Bud Crawford. That would be awesome if maybe somehow we could work something out where I could get one of those guys on.
right. But no, you guys really showed out for the Puerto Rican fighters last night. That was really good. Xander Zayas, he did a really good job, and
Yeah,
you know, you guys had a good show. So I
yeah.
was really
No, the
impressed.
card was entertaining. It's just the main event wasn't that good.
Right. Usually in the past, like top ranked boxing, especially, they don't have a really good undercard. You know, they have some of their undercard fights. Like, what's this person doing on the undercard?
Yeah.
They don't even look like a professional boxer. But
No,
that's cool.
they really catered to the New York audience. I came away happy with my purchase of my ticket. But
Yeah.
KO Boxing breaking news. Thank you so much for the call. I'm gonna let you go. I'm not gonna be too much longer. I'm gonna just be on for like another 5-10 minutes. I actually got to go to work soon. So, but thank you so much, KO Boxing breaking news. I'm definitely gonna check out that Hector Camacho tribute that you did. And let me know. We'll see if we'll do something together. I want to be on your channel. I know you've invited me on your channel before. I want to see if I can make it. Uh, you didn't see their fights yesterday. I did not see the Jose Cepeda fight. No, I don't like yo. You guys are very creative on getting these illegal streams from other countries and shit like that. I did not see the Jose Cepeda fight, but I do like Jose Cepeda. And the reason I earlier I had mentioned to LD L Dub Boxing. The reason I said Jose Cepeda, I think he beats Regis, is because Regis at times has had trouble making weight. I understand he came in at 138 actually in this fight, but he's had trouble making weight a couple times, and that shows me discipline issues. Jose Cepeda has never shown me discipline issues, which is why I would favor Jose Cepeda over Progress. But apparently, you making it seem like Jose Cepeda had a bad performance. I don't know what. How did he look? How did he look? I'm checking on BoxRec. They still haven't updated the his record. It still says that it's pending. So I don't know. Did he win? Did he get dropped? I don't know. I don't know. This is back-to-back fights where Berlanga arguably, I guess he meant arguably robbed his opponents. Yeah, I mean arguably, I guess, but for the most part, I felt like people weren't I didn't hear a lot of controversy over, like, people weren't up in arms over the decision last night. People were more disappointed with what Berlanga brought to the table. Like, you're the first person to mention, that. Black and Brown Boxing, shout out to you, my brother. Yeah, Jose Cepeda fought yesterday in Mexico. As a matter of fact, let me screen share that for you. That's why the dude's like, oh, he was laughing like, you ain't see the fights? I'm like, nah, I actually didn't. I didn't see the Jose Cepeda. And by the way, this is another boxing YouTuber. So L Dub Boxing, you was laughing at me. But yeah, yesterday, March 19th, 2022, he fought Francisco Javier Perez, who's 18-12-1 in a 10-round fight. But it doesn't say if he won or lost. It just shows. But this guy is a nobody. No disrespect. 18-12. And out of those 12 fights, you got knocked out 6 times. If he looked bad against an opponent like that, then yeah, I can see why you were laughing at me when I picked Zepeda to beat Progress. But we'll see. Berlanga won easy, just not impressive. I mean, honestly, I didn't score the fight. I was at the fight. I was kind of just focusing on evaluate, because I feel like I get a better sense of who a fighter is when I see him live. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't necessarily scoring fight. I just saw what Berlanga was doing, kind of didn't like what he was doing, and I came away unimpressed. But again, if I'm Puerto Rican, if I was if this flag here wasn't Dominican and I had a Puerto Rican flag here because I was Puerto Rican, I would be talking about Henry LeBron. That is the dude that Puerto Rican should be talking about. At 130 pounds, Henry LeBron is going to be a problem. This Puerto Rican guy, you guys got one. You guys got one. I'm putting the Broadway stamp on him. Once you get the Broadway stamp on you, you're going to become a world champion. Hector Luis Garcia got that Broadway stamp on him. Same thing. Henry LeBron, Broadway stamp. And you know what's ironic? Henry LeBron and Hector Luis Garcia, both at 130. one Puerto Rican, one Dominican. Put that on the Puerto Rican Day Parade for a bout. Woo-wee! That should have sell out. That should have sell out. Y'all people don't understand, yo. Dominicans, we 50% of the Latinos here in New York. 50% of the Latinos here in New York. Our, it comes from baseball rivals as well as, problems we've had in Puerto Rico from Dominicans immigrating to Puerto Rico. So there's somewhat of a rivalry naturally from Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. You guys sell that in New York City? Oh my God. I love that fight. I love that fight. I don't see how Berlanga won this fight. Rolls had clean boxing rounds. There was just a lot of rounds where nothing happened, and it's kind of like what you like better from which fighter. It was kind of a lot of like swing rounds, I felt. I spoke about Xander. I think he needs to work. I just realized your picture is somebody kissing a fish, but that's funny. Xander, I spoke on him. He needs to work on sitting down on his punches a little bit more. He needs to work on using his right hand more and using angles. I felt like he was very left hand happy. I don't know if his right arm was hurt at any point. I felt like there was times there was openings where if he slid to the right, the uppercut was there. And again, he landed a lot of clean shots and couldn't drop him, couldn't knock him out, couldn't hurt him real bad, couldn't stumble him. I felt like at times, if you land that many clean punches, you should be able to hurt somebody. You should be able to drop somebody. You should be able to knock somebody out if you land that many hard punches. But again, he's 19. Maybe he doesn't have his man strength yet. And I also saw something where he wasn't necessarily sitting down fully on his punches. He wasn't giving it everything he could. So he has things to work on. But again, he's 19. I'm not worried about Xander. LeBron fought to the level of his competition yesterday. I don't know what you mean by that, to be honest, because the guy he fought, he had 25 wins. Like, I don't know. If you got 25 wins, you're not a bum. You know what I'm saying? If you got 25 wins, you a decent fighter. I believe he was 25 and like 4. Let me see. I believe he was 25 and 4. Oh, he was 25. He was 23, 5 and 3. So the guy had a lot of experience. And by the way, that stoppage was bullshit. I don't think that fight should have been stopped, but he definitely was outclassing him. He was landing beautiful right hooks. He was boxing around the ring beautifully. Again, Henry LeBron is that dude. No, it's someone smoking pot from a fish from a TV show. That is disgusting. Yo, Joel, is Hector Luis Garcia versus Roger Gutierrez next in line? Absolutely, yes. That is the next fight that will happen for Hector Luis Garcia. He will be fighting Roger Gutierrez for the WBA super featherweight championship fight at 130. I like Hector Luis Garcia in that fight, not just because I'm being biased and I'm Dominican. I just genuinely favor Luis Garcia. I do like how aggressive he was. Yes, Bowser was definitely unimpressive. I didn't like what I saw from Bowser. This is his first showcase fight, right? This is his first fight on ESPN. I know he's fought on ESPN Plus before, deep on the undercards. That was his first fight on ESPN, and that's the performance you give in front of a sold-out crowd. Yo, and by the way, shout out to that New York crowd. That New York crowd was there early. From the fucking first fight to the last, that shit was packed. Shout out to the fucking New York boxing fans. People want to talk shit about the New York boxing fans and how we don't support and this. That shit ain't true, man. We came out strong, man. We came out heavy. Shout out to New York. Garcia versus Gutierrez, fire emoji. Yeah, man, that's going to be a good one. I seen Richard Torres was at the fight last night. Oh, actually, I believe you. I ain't see him though. But Richard Torres, man, I ain't like his last fight. He looked ridiculous. He looked ridiculous. Absolutely. Roger Gutierrez versus Hector Luis Garcia is definitely going to be a war. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. Finally, there's going to be a fight that's going to be a war. And my Dominican fighter actually has a chance. And it's for a belt. If that fight happens in New York, no way I miss it. No way I miss it. Man, if PBC know what they're doing, put that fight on the undercard of the Tank fight. That could be a future Tank opponent. Come on, put that on the undercard. Neither is a big star, neither is a big ticket seller. Put that on the undercard. Let them get their name up. This is possibly a potential opponent for Tank later down the road. Who knows? Put that fight on the undercard. Put that fight on the undercard, man. It was because the Puerto Ricans, to be honest, they always come out. Yo, whatever it was, but they came out. They came out heavy. They came out heavy. New York City showed up last night. Boxing is back and thriving. Yeah, man. Yo, it was a sold out crowd. And when I walked in, I was expecting, to be one of the few first hundreds. That shit was packed. The stadium, the arena, Hulu Theater, that holds 5,600. When I got there, and I got there when the Shushu Carrington fight was just starting. It must have been like 4,000 people already there. 4,000 for the deep undercard, for the ESPN Plus undercard. It was about 4,000 people there. And then people just, as the night went on, people started filling it up. But at no point did I see a little section that was empty or nothing. Maybe there was one seat that was empty, but that shit was sold out. Shout out to fucking Edgar Berlanga, man. He really showed out. He really, really showed out. Berlanga, one word, overrated. Wow. Damn. He really needs to show out in his next performance, man. Because I'm not going to his next performance just based off this one. I'm not buying the ticket. I'm gonna save my money for Beterbiev, Joe Smith. I'm glad Xander got a different haircut now because that ponytail used to piss me off. Yeah, that Jahai Tucker needs a lot of work. Yes. Another one, bro. You from Queens, New York. You from Queens, right? You from New York. You in your hometown. You fighting in front of a sold-out crowd that actually turned out. Actually was there. You was deep on the undercard, but the crowd was there. You from Queens, man. Fuck is you doing? It's almost like he was satisfied with boxing. And at times he would land a couple hard shots and wouldn't follow up because he was satisfied with just boxing. I ain't like his performance at all. Let's run another Vargas versus Zepeda at the Garden. Why? No. That was a first round knockout. We don't need to see that. I don't know if I agree with you there. Black and Brown. Xander's the main event from here on out. I don't know, man. I don't know where, one, I'm saying I don't know because I don't know where his popularity level is. And two, if you're going to give me a main event, you're going to have to give me against an opponent I at least heard of. Like, I've heard of Steve Rose. You know what I'm saying? When he fought Berlanga, I've heard of him. Who is Xander going to fight at 154 that I've heard of at least? That's main event worthy. I don't see that. But guys, thank you guys so much for showing up to my live. I appreciate you guys. I will be live again on Tuesday. I will be live. Not on Wednesday because I have a doctor's appointment. Oh no, wait. Tuesday I will be on the Hispanic Causing Panic podcast. And then Wednesday I will be going live, but later than I usually do. So stay tuned. Wednesday I will be going live. But Tuesday, if you guys are a fan of the HCP community, boxing community or something like that, I will be on there. They need some Dominican flavor, I guess. They hit me up. They want me on the show. Shout out to HCP, the Hispanics Causing Panics Boxing Podcast. I'm going to be on there Tuesday. I'm not sure what time. Let me see if I can find out because we agreed on a time, but, I don't know off the top of my head. It's Sunday still, so I don't need a... All right, hold on. I believe it's Tuesday at 8. I can't find it. But point is, I'm going to hit them up. I'm going to be on the Hispanics Causing Panics podcast on Tuesday, I believe at 8 p.m. Eastern. So check me out there, and I'll be live on this channel Wednesday, either 7 or 8. Don't quote me on the time. I have a lot of things to do that day. But all right, guys, until next time, peace. Yes, that one. That's the podcast I'm going to be on. All right, guys, until next